After leaving Faramir and Ithilien, Frodo and Sam, led by Gollum, he leads them on a secret path to the pass of Cirith Ungol. Welcome to Shelob's Lair, part 12 of my Saga campaign. In this quest, you gotta be careful about using the ring, because it can come back and haunt you. Here are the burdens and boons that I've earned so far in the campaign. And the decks that I've chosen for this quest are, one deck is a Noldor 300s deck. The fourth of 300s is a contract, where your deck cannot include ally cards. And each of your heroes can have one additional restricted attachment. Reduce the cost of the first restricted attachment you play on each of your heroes each round by 1. Refresh action. If each of your heroes has at least 2 restricted attachments, flip this card over. Side B. Each of your heroes can have one additional restricted attachment and gets +1 willpower for each restricted attachment on it. Action. Exhaust this card to heal 1 damage from each of your heroes. And the heroes is Galdor of the Havens. He's a 2/2/1/4 Noldor. Response. After drawing your setup hand, instead of taking a mulligan, you may discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw that many cards. Action. If you have no cards in your hand, draw 6 cards. Limit once per game. The other hero is Gilda Gladriel. He's a 3/2/1/3 Nordal Noble. Action. Pay 1 resource from Gilda Gladriel's resource pool to choose a player to draw 1 card. Limit once per round. And the third hero is the tactics version of Glorfindel from A Long Extended Party. He's a 3/3/1/5 Nordal Noble Warrior. Glorfindel gets +2 attack when attacking alone, and +2 attack when attacking a unique enemy. The total starting threat for this deck is 32, because I have to add a +2 permanent threat penalty because I didn't take the Searching Eye boon from the Dead Marshes quest. So from now on, each deck has +2 additional starting threat. The other deck that I have chosen is a Hobbit deck. We got Sam Gamgee. He's a 3/1/1/3 Hobbit. Response. After you engage an enemy with a higher engagement cost than your threat. Ready Sam Gamgee to get +1 willpower, attack, and defense until the end of the round. Gilda Gladriel, she's a 4/0/4 Nordal Noble. Gladriel can't quest, attack, or defend. Allies you control do not exhaust to commit to the quest. During the round they enter play. Exhaust Gladriel to choose a player. That player reduces his threat by 1 and draws 1 card. Limit once per round. And the last here was Bilbo Baggins. He's at 1/1/2/2 Hobbit Burglar. Response. After Bilbo Baggins commits to the quest, choose an enemy in the staging area. Until the end of the phase, Bilbo Baggins gets +X willpower, where X is the enemy's threat. If the player's quest successfully, deal 1 damage to that enemy. If you quest successfully, 2 damage instead if it's guarding a card. And the starting threat for that deck is 28. And the Frodo I've chosen for this quest is from the Black Riders box. He's a 2/1/2/2 Hobbit Ringbearer. Response. Spend 1 resource to exhaust the 1 ring to cancel, and exhaust the 1 ring to cancel the effects of an encounter card just revealed from the encounter deck. Shuffle that card back into the encounter deck and reveal an encounter card. And the burden I'm going to be earning in this quest is a heavy burden. It's permanent, setup, attached to the ring bearer, forced at the beginning of the planning phase, at the end of the planning phase. Either raise each player's threat by 1 or exhaust the ring bearer. Each player draws their starting hand. Going to discard 3 cards. That's nice. We'll keep this hand. Now we go to the counter setup. Set Clift of Cirith Ungol, Shelob, and the Giant Spider encounter set out of play. Put Smeagol into play under the first player's control. Make Morgul Vale the active location. Add Smeagol's secret way to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. Here's the Cliffs of Cirith Ungol and Shelob, and then counter set. I'm setting aside how to play. Smeagol is a 2/2/2/5 Gollum, immune to player card effects. The first player gains control of Smeagol. After the player's quest unsuccessfully, flip Smeagol to Gollum. If Smeagol is destroyed, the players lose the game. And here's Smeagol's secret way. And the Morgul Vale. Each hero gets a resource. And I'm using pipe tokens as exhaustion tokens. It's kind of the Rings token to show that I've used Gladriel's ability. Doors of Durin token to show that I've used Gildor's ability. And the Ring token to show that I used Frodo's ability, and the Eye to show that the ring is exhausted. Draw a card. Spear of Citadel. We're going to put a Dagger of Westerness onto Glorfindel. A Staff of Levithron onto Bilbo. Golden Belt onto Bilbo. Fast Hitch onto Bilbo. Now we're going to use we're going to go to the Hobbit deck. Draw a card. Fast Hitch. We're going to put Nenya onto Gladriel, using up Bilbo's resource. Then we're going to use up Gladriel's resource and put a Fast Hitch onto Bilbo. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest with with Sam for 4. And there is 2 in the staging area. First card is a Morgul Race. Second card is an Underway. And we're going to give Gladriel's 4 to Sam, so we quest for 8, and there's 8 in the staging area, so we quest neutral. Now we're going to go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Spear of a Citadel. We're going to play the Steward of Gondor onto Gladriel, using up Sam's resources and putting 2 resources onto Gladriel. Then we're going to spend 2 of Galadriel's resources to put an Unexpected Courage on the Galadriel. Now we're going to go over to the 300s deck. Draw a card. Burning Brand. We're going to put that onto Gildor. We're going to use Galadriel's ability to have the 300s deck draw a card. We're going to put Dunedain's Signal onto Bilbo. We're going to put a Rivendell Bow onto Glorfindel, giving him ranged. And now we're going to go to the questing phase. There's 8 in the staging area. And we're going to quest for 4, and then quest with Bilbo for 9. He's going to target the mortal race. And first card revealed is a Call of the Ring. Put a mortal race into play. Second card revealed is an Underway. So we added 6 to the staging area, bringing it up to 14. And now we're going to add Galadriel's ability to bring ours up from 9 to 13. And then we're going to play a Elrond's Consul to add 1 more and lower our threat by 3. So we're requesting neutral for 14. Now we go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Hands upon the bow. We're going to use Galadriel's ability to have 300 stack lower their threat by 1 and draw a card. A Valiant Sword. We're going to put that onto Gildor. Now we're going to go over to the 300s deck. The Hobbit deck. Draw a card. Hobbit Cloak. We're going to put a Hobbit Cloak onto Bilbo using Sam's resource. We're going to put a Spear of a Citadel onto Bilbo using all of his resources. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there is 8, 10, 14 in the staging area. First card revealed is a Deep Dark Passage. Second card revealed is We Hates Them. Flip Smeagol to Gollum. Gain Surge. Call the Ring. First player must choose either search the counter deck, discard pile victory display for a Nazgul enemy and add it to the staging area, or exhaust the one ring and reveal the top card of the encounter deck. I'm going to search the encounter deck for a mortal race. There's no mortal race. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. So we're going to use Gladriel's ability to quest successfully by 2 and clear out the mortal race. I mean the mortal veil. We each have to discard a random card. Song of Hope. Hands Upon the Bow. There's a search for a ring race. And there's no ring race. Now we're going to go to the combat phase. We're going to take the Gollum attack, blocking it with Bilbo. No shadow, no damage. And then we're going to attack back with Glorfindel and flip him back over. Go to the next round, raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card out of the wild. We're going to play an out of the wild, using up 3 of Gladriel's resources. Search the top 5 cards. Going to get rid of a Orc of Kirasungal. Going to draw a card and reduce our threat by 1 using Gladriel's ability. Another out of the wild. We're going to play another out of the wild. We're going to get rid of the ring draws them. Now we're going to go over to the 300's deck. Draw a card, Staff of Levithron. And we're going to put a Limbus onto Bilbo. And use Gildor's ability to draw a card. Quick Strike. Now we're going to go over to the questing phase. There's a total of 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 in the staging area, and he should have a damage. And we're going to quest for 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, and we have to raise each player's threat by 1. First card, Deep Dark Passage. Second card, another Deep Dark Passage, so we're up to 20. Now we're going to use Gladriel's ability to bring ours up to 20, so we quested neutral. We're going to exhaust Smeagol to travel to the secret way. And go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1 and give each hero a resource. Draw a card. Reforged. We're going to use Glorfindel's ability, Gildar's ability to have the Hobbit Deck draw a card. We're going to put Arwen into play. And now we're going to go over to the $300 deck, draw a card, Blade of Gondolin. We're going to put the Blade of Gondolin onto Gildor. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for 4, 9, raise each player's threat by 1. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and we're going to use Gladriel's ability to have the first deck, the Hobbit Deck, draw a card and reduce their threat by 1. And now there's a total of 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18 in the staging area. First card, we hate them. Got to flip Smeagol to Gollum. Many openings. And last card. Exhalation of Decay. Each player discards a random card from their hand. And a resource they can, attachment they control. So it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 21. $22. And we quested for 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22. So we quested neutral. We actually quested for 1 because we were engaged by Gollum and we had a lower threat. So say I'm ready to got +1 willpower. So we put 1 progress on the Smeagol's Secret Way. So we're going to block Gollum with Bilbo and remove the shadow card. And we're going to ready Bilbo up and attack back for 1 and deal no damage. Alright, Sam's got 3, so we deal 1 damage. 1 damage goes onto the ring race. And now we go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Give each hero a resource. Draw a card. Gildor's Console. Now we're going to go over to the Hobbit Deck. Draw a card. Test a will. Going to use Gladriel's ability to draw a card and lower threat by 1. Well, first he has to attack. And it's going to be blocked by Bilbo. No damage. Okay, now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for 4, 5, 9. Raise each player's threat by 1. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're going to give Bilbo Sentinel +1. I'm using her token to show who I'm giving the bonus to. So we got 21. And first card is Morgul Vale. Either discard 1 random card from your hand or reveal an additional encounter card. I'm going to discard 1 random card. And card number 2 is a Den of Night. So we added 2 to the staging area, bringing it up to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we quest unsuccessfully by 1, but we're going to put in Gladriel's 4, and we quest it successfully by 3. That clears out Smeagol's Secret Way. We search the encounter deck for a Morgul race and discard pile. There's no Morgul race. And now we're going to each discard 3 random cards from our decks. And discard each of the ring wraiths in the staging area. Now at the end of the phase, we go to the next round. 2A, the Spider's Pass. When revealed, add Shelob to the staging area and shuffle all cards from the Giant Spider encounter set and the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Here's Shelob. She's a 4/4/4/8. Indestructible and can't have attachments. Shelob gets +1 threat for each resource on her. And at the beginning of the quest phase, either place 1 resource on Shelob or she makes an immediate attack against the first player. And now we're going to travel to the underway. And we're going to engage the Morgul Orc. He gets dealt a shadow card because of the underway in the staging area, but he readies up Sam. And we also are going to trigger the one-time ability for Galdor to draw 6 cards because we have no cards in our hand. First, Gollum. Yeah, and Gollum gets dealt a shadow card. So we're going to block Gollum with Bilbo. No shadow, no damage. Then we're going to block the Morgul Orc. With Sam. No shadow. And he didn't destroy character, so Sam takes 2 damage. Or 1 damage. Now we go to the end of the round. And Gollum engages the first player and makes an immediate attack. We're going to block with Bilbo. No shadow, no damage. Each player raises their threat by 2. Hero gains a resource. Draw a card. Sword Thane. Glorfindel is going to use his ability for the Hobbit deck to draw a card. Golden Belt. And Gladriel is going to use her ability to have the Hobbit Deck draw a card and lower their threat by 1. We're going to give Sam a Hobbit Cloak. And we're going to put the golden belt onto Glorfindel. And I'll go over to the 300s deck, draw a card, Shining Shield. I'm going to put that onto Galdor. Going to put the Dunedain Remedy onto Sam, healing up the damage. We're going to play a Quick Strike and attack Glorfindel and destroy Gollum. And we're going to put a Blade of Gondolin onto Gildor. And then a Fast Hitch onto Bilbo. Now we're going to go into the questing phase. We're going to put a resource onto Shelob. And we're going to quest for 4, 5, and we're going to target Shelob. So we're up to 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And a quest for 15, 16, 17. And there's a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the staging area. First card is a Morgul Orc. When revealed, either discard a random card from your hand or reveal an additional encounter card. We'll discard a random card. And second card is a Block Tunnel. Makes immediately becomes the active location. We're actually going to use the Rings ability to shuffle this back into the encounter deck. Rage and Hunger. Oh. Shelob's going to make 2 attacks. Bilbo's ready for the defense. Bilbo's going to defend. He's got Sentinel and 5 defense. So we're going to block and remove this shadow card. And he takes 1 damage. We're going to use the Limbus spread to ready him up. Heal him. And block the next attack. No damage. I mean, no shadow. So he takes 1 damage. So there's a total of 5, 6, 7, 13, 14, 15 in the staging area. Requested for 17, plus we're going to add Gladriel's 4, so requested for 21, that's plus 6. 3 here and 3 on the main quest. Okay. So now we go to the travel phase. We're going to travel to Underway. We also have to place 1 resource on the Shelob because of the canceling the effect. So that just up Bilbo's willpower. Now the Hobbit deck is going to engage the Morgul Orc. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block 1 with Bilbo. And it doesn't destroy a character, so you don't have to discard a random card. And it also takes 1 damage. Now we're going to block the other with Sam, who readied up, and discard a non-objective attachment. We're going to get rid of the old Bowie stories. Now we're going to attack with Glorfindel and destroy the healthy Morgul Orc. And go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1 and give each hero a resource. Draw a card. Gondorian Shield. We're going to put a Gondorian Shield onto Gildor. Now we're going to go over to the Hobbit deck. Draw a card, Light of Valor. We're going to use Gildor's ability to have the Hobbit deck draw another card. Elrond's Consul. We're going to put the Light of the Valor onto Gildor, or Glorfindel. Now we're going to use Gladriel's ability to have the 300's deck draw a card and reduce their threat by 1. Go into the questing phase. We'll put a resource on the Shelob. And there's a total of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the staging area. And we requesting for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 to 14. First card, Ill Fate. Block Tunnel. Switch those. And last card, Rage and Hunger. We're going to use the Ring's ability to shuffle that back into the deck. And we have to put a resource on the Shelob because of the Den of Night. So increases our willpower by 1 and the threat in the staging area by 1. Morgul Race. So I did 4. So it's up to 21 in the staging area. And we quested for 4, 5, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we quest successfully by 4. We're going to add Gladriels to make it 8. So we put 8 progress onto the block tunnel. But we're going to play Elrond's Consul. And you have +1 willpower to make us quest for 1 extra, reduce our threat by 3. And that clears the blocked. Let's see. I'm going to exhaust the ring race. I mean the Glorfindel to put 3 progress on it. And then we quested successfully and we're able to put 3 progress onto the main quest. Because the block tunnel has an action, exhaust a character with a weapon attachment to place 3 progress on a block tunnel. Any player may trigger this effect. Now the Morgul, we're going to travel to the underway in the Morgul Wraith. It's going to engage the first player, or engage the Hobbit deck. And he's got -30 because the ring is exhausted. So who should we block? He's attacking for 5, and I have 1, 2, 3 defense here. And this has a burning brand. He's got 1, 2. I'm going to play a Reforged and put a Limbus onto Galdor and ready him up. And now I'm going to block the Morgul race with Galdor. And remove this shadow, or cancel its effect. And it's attacking for 5, and we have 1, 2, or we have 1, 2, 3 defense, so we take 2 damage. And we're going to block the Morgul Orc with Bilbo. Remove the shadow card. And no damage. And he takes 1 damage back with the spear. Now we go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1, and each hero gets a resource. Going around twice right now with the Steward of Gondor. Gladriel's up to 12 resources already. Okay, so the Hobbit Deck draws a card, Reforged. We're going to use Gildor's ability to have them draw another card out of the wild. We're going to use 3 of Galadriel's resources. That's playing out of the wild. We're going to get rid of one of the Calls of the Ring. Now we're going to go over to the 300s deck, and during the refresh phase, the contract flipped over for the 300s deck because we have at least 2 restricted attachments on each. Oh, actually we still need 1 on the Glorfindel, so not yet. We draw a card. We're going to use Gladriel's ability to have them draw a card and reduce their threat by 1. We're going to put a dagger onto Glorfindel. Now we're going to put another dagger on the Glorfindel. So now he's attacking for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against an enemy that has higher threat. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We'll put a resource on the Shelob. And we're going to quest for 4, 5, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, and there's a total of 9, 15, 16. So we're going to quest for 22. First card is Lurking Malice. We're going to put a resource on Shelob to cancel, and so she doesn't attack. Orc of Kiris Ungol. When revealed, either discard a random card from your hand or he makes immediate attack against you. Now I'm going to have him make immediate attack, and I'm going to block with Bilbo. And we're going to remove the shadow card. And Bilbo takes no damage. And the next card is another one. Bilbo's going to block again. And no damage. So that's, we added a total of 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20. And we're going to add Gladriel's ability to Sam. So now we quested for 8, 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we quested successfully by 7. So we clear out the underway and put 4 progress onto the main quest. And now we're going to exhaust Smeagol to travel to the Deep Dark Passage. Now we have 2 attacks. We're going to block the Mogul Rape with Bilbo. He gets +1 attack. We're attacking for 6. And Bilbo has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defense. During this action window, I'm going to spend one of Sam's resources and put this over onto Bilbo to heal 1 damage on Bilbo. And he takes 1 damage. And I'm going to block the Morgul Orc with Galdor. Makes an additional attack, but I'm going to cancel that with the Burning Brand. Now we go to the next round. Hero gets a resource. Player raises their threat by 1. Draw a card. Land Ring. We're going to put a Land Ring onto Glorfindel and remove a... Oh, let's see. No, we can have it. That's only our 4th. So we had 2 more attack. We're going to put a Secret Vigil onto one of the Orcs of Kirathungal. And we're going to put an Ancestral Armor. No, we're going to pass. We're just going to go over to the Hobbit deck. Hasty Stroke. We're going to use Galdor's ability to have the Hobbit deck draw a card. Fast Hitch. Now we're going to reduce our threat by 1 and draw another card. Gladriel. Now we're going to play Fast Hitch onto Bilbo. Then we're going to spend 1 from his resource pool to move the Dunedain Remedy over to Galdor. Heal 1, and then we're going to spend 1 from Galdor's resource pool to send it back to Bilbo and heal 1. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. I'm going to put a resource onto Shelob. And there's a total of 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 in the staging area. And we're going to quest for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. $27, $28. First card is a Den of Night. Second card is Rage and Hunger. Now Shelob's going to make 2 attacks. So the first attack we're going to block with Bilbo. +1 attacks, so she's attacking for 5. No damage. Oh, she's attacking for 7. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defense. We're going to use the Hasty Stroke to cancel that effect. So we take 1 damage. So now during, should attack in, and during this action window, I'm going to spend a resource from Bilbo to give it over to Gildor, and then spend one from Gildor's to send it back to Bilbo to heal him up. And then I'm going to remove this shadow card and block with Bilbo. So Bilbo takes 1 damage. So there's a total of 20 in the staging area, requested for 28. So we cleared this and put 3 on the main quest. And then we're going to use Gladriel's ability to make it 4, so we're up to 14. And both of these enemies are coming down. We're going to engage one with the Hobbit deck, and it readies up Sam. The other one is comes to the 300's deck. Now we deal out shadow cards. And we're going to play a Reforged and put Limbus onto Galdor. And we're going to, we have 4 attacks to deal with. Block 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to use Limbus to ready up Galdor. He's blocking for 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to block the Orc of Curithungle and cancel the shadow effect. So he takes no damage. And now we're going to block the Morgul Wraith with Sam, who's got 4 defense. And it gets plus X, where X is the active location. There's no active location, so Sam takes 1 damage. We're going to block the Orc of Curithungle with Bilbo. And not Shelob. And no damage. Then we're going to block and destroy the Morgul Orc. Now Glorfindel is going to attack back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13 and destroy the mortal race. We go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Shiro gains a resource. Draw a card. Dwarven Tomb. We're going to play a Frodo's Intuition. Draw 3 cards. I'm going to put a Mirror Gladriel on the Gladriel. I'm going to play a Dwarven Tomb and we're putting a Test of Will into our hand with the Dwarven Tomb. Now we're going to play a Mirror of Gladriel. Search the top 10 cards of our deck for a card. We're going to get a Silver Harp. Now we discard a random card. Test of Will. We're going to play a Dwarven Tomb and put the Test of Will back in our hand. Put the Silver Harp onto Gladriel. We're going to use Gildor's ability to draw a card. We're going to use Gladriel's ability to draw a card and lower our threat by 1. Test the Will. Go over to the 300s deck. Draw a card. Fast Hitch. We're going to put that onto Bilbo. Just like he needs more fast hitches, he's already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never can get too much rope. Now we're going to go into the questing phase. I'm going to put a resource onto Shelob. And we should be going to the next stage this round. There's a total of 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 in the staging area. And we're going to quest for 4, 5 because of I played the Frodo's Intuition. So 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Requesting for 25 to the staging area, and I can always add 5 more if I needed to. I actually requesting for more because they flipped their contract over. We're actually not going to quest with Oh, so we can quest with him. So we're questing for 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. First card revealed, Spider's Lair. Second card revealed, Rage and Hunger. We're going to cancel that effect of the Rage and Hunger. We have to put 2 resources on the Shelob, but we don't want that to attack twice. And we've quested for enough to go to the next round. Gollum's Betrayal. 3A. After add Cliff of Kirithungol to the staging area. Flip Smeagol to Gollum and heal all damage from Shelob. Each player places 1 resource onto Shelob. And now, flip Smeagol to Gollum. And when Shelob, if Gollum is defeated, add him to the victory display. Do not flip him over. While Shelob has at least 1 resource on her, she gains Forced. When Shelob is dealt any amount of damage, cancel that damage and discard 1 resource instead. The players can't defeat the stage unless both Shelob and Gollum are in the victory display. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game. And it's got 8 quest points. Now we go to the combat phase. We're going to block the Orc of Kirithungol with Bilbo, giving him 1 damage. And no shadow because he's not Shelob. We'll block the other Orc of Kirithungol with Bilbo and remove its shadow card. And Gollum also attacks too. We'll block him with Bilbo. Just deal 2 additional shadow cards. We're going to cancel that effect. And now we're going to attack with Glorfindel and destroy Gollum. He goes to the victory display. Now we go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. And raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. And now, 300's deck draws a card. We're going to use Gildor's ability to have him draw another card. Andriel. Now we're going to use Gladriel's ability to have them draw a card and reduce their threat by 1. Gondorian Shield. I'm going to put a Gondorian Shield onto Bilbo. Gives him +1 defense. Now he's up to 4 defense and 6 against an enemy that's higher threat. We're going to put Andriel onto... No. We'll put Andriel... Yeah, we'll put Andriel onto Bilbo. Sam, because he's noble. So now he gets +1 defense, attack, and willpower. And we're going to spend one from Bilbo's pool to send the remedy over to Sam, and then heal up the damage, and then send the remedy back to Bilbo and heal up the damage. Now we're going to go over to the Hobbit deck, draw a card, Thorngill. We're going to use the Mirror of Gladriel to search the top 10 cards for a card and put it into our hand. We're going to put Sting into our hand. We're going to put it back in our hand. Now, it might seem stupid, but I'm going to put Sting onto Bilbo and remove the Gondorian shield. Now he gets additional plus defense, so that doesn't lose anything. But he also gets +1 attack, +1 willpower, and he can deal damage back to Shelob. Now we're going to put Thorngill onto Bilbo. And that puts the lore, gives him a lore icon. We get to draw an extra card for the first player each round. And now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to block with Bilbo. Reveal the top card to see what Sting can do. Does no damage, but we do want to do 1 damage with the spear and remove the shadow card. And now we're going to quest with Sam, Bilbo, Gladriel, Glorfindel, and that's a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19, 20, 26, and there's a total of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24. So we're going to quest with Gildor and make us quest for 32. First card, Morgul Orc. When revealed, either discard a random card from your hand or reveal an additional encounter card. We'll discard a random card. Dunedain Cache. And a block tunnel, so we immediately go to that. So we added 1 to the staging area, going up to 24, or up to 25. So we quest successfully by 7. We're going to add Gladriel to make it 11. So that puts 2 progress onto the main quest, clearing the block tunnel. And we do 1 damage to Shelob for questing successfully. And now we're going to travel to the Spider's Lair. When Spider's Lair attacks, Shelob makes immediate attack when it becomes the active location. We're going to block with Bilbo. It automatically does 1 damage and takes off a resource, and then no damage with Sting, and she gets +X. I'm going to play a Hasty Stroke and cancel that. The Morgul Orc is going to engage the Hobbit Deck. And now we go to the combat phase. We're going to block the Orc of Cirith Ungol with Galdor. And no shadow effect because it's not Shelob. And we have 4 defense, so no damage. We're going to block the Orc of Cirith Ungol with Bilbo. Takes 1 damage. And he also does 2 damage with Sting. So that destroys the Orc of Cirith Ungol, and each player reduces their threat by 2. Now we're going to block the other Morgul Orc. Deal 1 damage to it, and then do Sting, no damage, and no shadow. Then we're going to attack back with Bilbo for 2 and Sam for 2, and that destroys the Morgul Orc, and attack with Glorfindel, and that's going to destroy the, along with Glorfindel, that's to destroy the Orc of Cirith Ungol and put 2 progress on the active location because of the Blade of Gondolin. Oh, we take that back. We quested with them. But he's still destroyed because of Glorfindel. Go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Red book. We're going to do it. The Gilda Gladriel. Search the top 10 cards for a card and put them into her hand. We're going to put Rosie into our hand. Discard a random card, and we're going to put it back in our hand with the Silver Harp. We're going to put the red book onto Sam. And then we're going to put Rosie into play. Now all my Hobbit characters get +1 willpower. While Sam is questing. Now we go over to the 3 Hunters deck, draw a card. Gildor's Console, we're going to draw another card with Gildor. And now we're going to use Gladriel's ability to draw another card. Out of the Wild. We're going to play Out of the Wild for 3. And we're going to get rid of the other Call for the Ring. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to block Shelob with Bilbo. All right. We deal 1 direct damage. It removes a resource. and Deep Dark Passage. It's two. Oh, just two threats, so it does another damage. And now we're going to remove this shadow. And now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're still going to keep targeting Shelob. So we're questing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Plus 6 is 35. And there is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21 in the staging area. And we're going to play Gildor's Console, only reveal one card. Morgul Orc. Either discard a random card from your hand or reveal an additional card. We'll reveal additional card. Morgul Race. Okay, so we added 5. So it's up to 26. Requested successfully by 9. That puts 4 progress. We're also going to add Gladriel to it by 13. So that puts 4 progress here, removing a resource, and 9 onto the main quest. So we've got that fulfilled. Now we're going to engage the Mordor Orc with the Hobbit deck. And then we're going to block it with Bilbo. Discard a non-objective attachment. We also get a resource on the Sam. We're going to get rid of the Hobbit Cloak. Now we're going to attack back with Glorfindel and destroy him. Go to the next round. Player raises their threat by 1. Shiro gets a resource. It's 13 on Gladriel. Draw 2 cards because of Bilbo. Now we're going to go over to the Hobbit deck. Draw a card. Unexpected Courage. We're going to use Gladriel's ability to search the top 10 cards for a card and put it in our hand. We're going to put a Test of Will into our hand. Now we're just going to put the random card back in our hand. And we're going to use Glorfindel's ability to have Hobbit deck draw a card. Ring Mail. We're going to put the Ring Mail onto Sam. Giving him +1 will defense and +1 hit point. Now we're going to put an unexpected courage. And we're going to put that on the Glorfindel. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to block with Shelob with Bilbo. And Sting doesn't do anything, but the Sphere with the Citadel does 1 damage, and removing this, and so 4 attack, no damage. Now we're going to quest with Sam, Bilbo targeting Shelob, Arwen, Glorfindel, and Gildor for 35. Actually, brings it down to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 through 132. And there's a total of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 23. So right now we're 9 to the good. And first card is the Den of Night. And then the Spider's Lair. So we added 4. So we quested successfully. Sam gets a resource. And we deal 1 damage to Shelob, bringing your down 1 resource. And now we're going to travel to the Spider's Lair, where as soon as it becomes the active location, Shelob makes immediate attack. We're going to block with Bilbo, deal 1 damage, and then Sting doesn't do any damage, and it doesn't destroy characters, so no damage. And now we're going to go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gains a resource. Draw a card. Frodo's Intuition. We're going to play that right now. Draw 3 cards. Dunedain Signal, Friend of Friends, and a Brace of Conies. Now we're going to play Gilda Gladriel. We're going to get the Friend of Friends. We're going to put the random card that we discarded back to our hand with the Silver Harp. We're going to put a Silver Harp onto Bilbo, giving him +1. Oh, then we're going to put the other Silver Harp onto Frodo. I mean, it's Friend of Friends. Now each one gets +1 willpower. Attack and defense and hit point. Now we're going to play a brace of conies. We're going to draw 2 cards and reduce the threat of the 300s deck by 2. We're going to put out a Fellowship of the Ring. Now each hero gets a willpower. Go over to the 300s deck, draw a card. I'm going to play Heed the Dream for the 300s deck. There's the top 5 for a card. We're going to get the brace of conies. Now we're going to search the entire deck, spending the kicker with Sam. We're going to get a hands upon the bow. Now we're going to use Gildor's ability to have the deck draw a card. We're going to put a Gondor. We're not going to play any cards right now. We're just going to go to the combat. The questing phase. We're going to block Shelob with Bilbo. And Sting does 1 damage to Shelob along with the spear. And this is removed by the staff. And no damage. We're going to quest for 32 again with... Actually, it's more now because we got 1, 2... I'll just count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 28, 29, 30, 31, 35. And we're going to play the Elrond's Council to make it 36. Lower threat by 3. And we're targeting Shelob. Shelob's poison. Attach to a hero you control and exhaust that hero. Well, we're going to attach it to Bilbo. Sorry, Bilbo. I mean, Frodo. You got poisoned. I guess that's what happened anyway. Next card. Lurking Malice. Either place 1 resource on Shelob or she makes immediate attack. We're just gonna have her make an immediate attack. And Sting does 1 damage, knocking off the resource. Shelob. If it's attacking enemy is Shelob, place 1 resource on her, then she gets +1 for each resource. So she gets 5 attack and blocking with 6, so no damage. So we reveal another card. Oh no, we don't reveal another card because of we had revealed Shelob's poison. So he quested successfully. That removes a resource from Shelob, and then there's no resources to remove with this Spider's Lair. Now we're going to play a Hands Upon the Bow. We're going to spend one resource with Glorfindel and attack Shelob for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, and deal 11 damage to Shelob. Now we're going to travel to the Cliff of Cirith Ungol, and we have to put one resource onto Shelob. And now we're going to go to the next round. We're up to round 17, and hopefully this will be the last one. Raise each player's threat by 1. Give each hero a resource. 16 resources on Gladriel. We're going to draw 2 cards because of Bilbo. I probably forgot that a few times. And now we're going to play Brace of Conies. We can choose 2. We're going to reduce our threat by 2. And have the Hobbit deck draw 2 cards. Now we're going to go over to the Hobbit deck, draw a card. Then we're going to use the Mirror Gladriel to get a card. We're going to get out Reforged. And the random card we're just going to put back in our hand. It's the Silver Harp. We're going to use Gildor is going to draw a card for the 300 stack. We're going to put another Silver Harp onto Gladriel. Put a Fast Hitch onto Bilbo. There we go. And then we each have to raise our threat by 1 because we can't exhaust the Frodo because of the Shelob's poison. But we are going to use Gladriel's ability to have the 300 deck draw a card and reduce the threat by 1. Now we're just going to put a resource on Shelob. She doesn't need to attack. First card, Orc of Cirith Ungol. Either discard 1 random card from each player's hand. I'll do that. I'll put it back in my hand. That's the other Silver Harp. Open the armory. And the next card is a Rage and Hunger. We're just going to cancel that effect. And that puts 3 resources on the Shelob. And we quested successfully. I'm not even going to count. And the Cliff of Cirith Ungol gets explored. Shelob loses indestructible. And we win the game because there is an 11 damage on Shelob. So that was a good game. And the Bilbo Tower was what mattered in this game. I'm going to say the MVPs were the Fast Hitch for the Hobbit Deck and the Dunedain Signal for the 300s deck, giving Bilbo the ability to be able to block every Shelob attack. That was a well-earned victory. And the final score is going to be a high one. 160. 190. 228. And then we get the minus off. $12, $14, $18, $19, $20, $21, $22. So we're down from $228. We're down to $106. So, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the passing of the Grey Company. Well, we'll be with Aragorn. Have a great day.